what I want you guys to, let's see. Okay. So the key with all of this stuff, the key with everything having to do with intuition, spirituality, energy, is knowing that you guys are timeless beings. It's like we're not, there's no beginning, no end. Okay, so the thing to remember is that we are timeless beings, no beginning, no end, and it's just where we choose to put our attention where we are. And there's several different layers of us, obviously. There's the us that we were, but we still are. We still are that us. I mean, we're still the person that was, I'm still the person that was doing heroin. I was still the person that went to jail. I'm still the person that was getting straight A's. I was still the person that, you know, fell in love with the wrong boy and I thought I fell in love. You know, it's like, see, my little spike came out. I thought I fell in love. And we're these multi-dimensional, multi-faced beings that if we don't have control over who we are at any given time, that's what they call being an unconscious asleep person. Okay. Has anybody ever heard that? Someone who's unconscious or asleep? And a lot of us here are asleep. I mean, it's like, there's a lot of people here that are, a bunch of yellow flowers too. Awesome. It's like, you can be into this stuff and you can be like, oh, I want to find out more, and be in the stage where, you know, me and my dad always are, like, we want to find answers. We want answers to questions. And that's all like mind stuff. You know, that's like the piece of us that is not eternal, the piece of us that is here for this lifetime and we'll go into the ground and we'll die and we'll just go back to the earth. And that piece of us knows and wants to know stuff so that we can basically, in essence, discover what it is that I'm telling you right now, you know, that we're eternal. But there's a piece of us that is angelic. Okay. There's a piece of us that is basically made of electricity. And that's the angelic aspect of us. I see angelic beings as lightning, like lightning rods, like lightning, like Archangel Michael, I've never seen as a man on a horse with wings and a sword. That's like Doreen Virtue's mental image of one that so many people now have as their mental image. And God knows which entity is working through that vision now that she doesn't believe any of that. So it's like she was the creator of that vision, you know, like a lot of them, you know, from a lot of people that did Doreen Virtue stuff. So if you have like someone else's vision of something in your mind, when you think of it, you need to ask to upgrade to the highest possible, upgrade this vision to the highest possible potential of truth, to its highest possible potential of truth. So it's like, okay, it moved from the guy with the sword and the horse and that, he dissolved into like a little genie bottle, came out the genie bottle smoke flew up in the air, so it turned into a cloud, water flew down, looks like lightning struck, and yeah, now I'm seeing lightning, but now I'm seeing like a ice sculpture. So Archangel Michael's frozen. Interesting. When I post something and then people are reading it and watching it and paying attention to it, they're sending light to your post. You're getting energy from it because that post is a creation of yours. People who are like, oh, I got to go live every single day. I can't handle not going live. I've got a friend who's like that. She's like, I got to go live. I'm like, yeah, because you're eating everyone's energy. I didn't say that, but in my head I was. That was a bitchy so thing. It's when I was on the radio, you know, 500,000 people listening to me. I was like, you guys saw me. I was like, all like, blah, 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 like everywhere, all the time, you know, on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I was completely knocked out of me because my vibration was so much light shining on me and raising me up. So what our reality is, guys, is not even our reality. Our reality is part of us. I want you guys to ask, like, okay, so what year are you in? And then I want you to say 0, present day, 2020. 0, that pulls all of your all your cells, your particles back in. Just imagine like a 0 right here on your chest. And just pull all of you back into you. So 0, imagine a 0 right there, and just pull just imagine dust and all of this stuff coming back to you. It's all you, all the different pieces of you everywhere. Every time you think a thought, a little tendril of energy goes over to that person. It goes to them. They go, oh, Marissa, I need to call her. And then I call them like, I was just thinking about you. Because I just thought about you. I zapped you, and then you thought about me. And, you know, so, I mean, we're all connected in the sense that our brains are connected because we're all telepathic, but we've cut off that telepathy at a very young age because, you know, otherwise we're considered, you know, paranoid schizophrenics. We're hearing the radios talking and the microwaves making, like, you know, telling dirty jokes to us. And, you know, it's like, whatever, it's like those waves are basically like white noise, and we're actually just hearing people's thoughts that are connected to us. So I want you guys 0, present day, 2020. And I'm just creating 2020 as like our timeline, because you could be in other timelines too, just to get a little bit more confusing. And I want you guys to ask, so ask between 1 and 21, 0 and 21, which you is the authentic, is the you that's eternal, that will go on forever, that never dies, that just keeps on going. Is there more than one? Is it you know, all of them? Is it none of them? Is it just one number? Which number is 0 to 21? Which one's the piece of us that's like forever and ever and ever? And it's not, doesn't go with any of the other like maps that I've created. It's just, I just made it up. Okay, nice. Cool, Brittany. Okay. Now I want you guys, after you get that number, I want you to say, wipe away all psychic imprints. And then ask, remove all psychic imprints and all mental body imprints now. And then ask if it changes. And then if it's changing, just put like B and then whatever number. So on the second round, it's going to be B whatever. So the way I set it up was basically, those are all the different kind of like dimensions of reality. 1 through 7, or I'm sorry, 1 through 8, 3 times, but the 0 is number 8 on all of them. So it was like 1 through 21. So 777, and then I had 8 as the 0, or 0 beneath or whatever. But yeah, so that's interesting. I don't know what the 3 lines are. Oh, past, present, future. Okay, so past was 21 through 21, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So 21 through 14, 1 through 7, that'd be 2 through 14. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 through 8. I'm totally thrown off right now. So it's past, present, future from like if the past is 21 down, and then 7, and then present is the middle one, and then future was the bottom. So Rochelle got 7, so it'd be the future. She's in the top layer. That's interesting. So 2 through 14, and then 15 through 21. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so you see, it's like, you're like, oh, it's this piece, this piece, this piece. So it was kind of a trick question in the sense that wherever you are, that's the piece that's eternal. So all of those layers are just layers of your mind. So those are layers of your consciousness. And your consciousness is whatever you choose it to be. Like, you could put your consciousness into what Einstein knew back in the day. Like, I've channeled Einstein, and I've channeled all of his theories of relativity and this and that, and talked about how he saw like a raindrop fall on his head and a leaf, and was sitting under a tree, and decided that he was like, you know, like something about stuff falling at certain like motions, or I don't know. I never studied Einstein. So the fact that I was telling it in such like an elementary way, like as a kid would tell it, was really interesting. But, you know, that's what channeling is you're basically taking that piece of you that can be in like Brittany had like 8 different places, but can also be centered back into wherever you need to be. So that's where faith comes in, guys. And I've always taught about like all the different layers, and I know it gets confusing because it's super fascinating to me how I can be this higher self that's talking about all this amazing stuff, and then just get so pissed off at Jeff and want to jump out of the car. It's like, why am I going to jump out of the car? I'd rather throw him out of the car. You know, it's like, what is it that makes me go like down? And it's that I am that eternal piece of me and I move around like crazy. Whereas other people will be like, oh, I'm just 1, 2, and 3. That's me. Yeah. All the other junk DNA, that it doesn't exist. But, you know, we're still affected by it. But it's like the fact that I get so suicidal and then so happy and then so this, I mean, it's like manic depressive, but I was diagnosed as manic depressive when I was 19, and I was happy about it because it explained why I felt funny. Really, I was just in love and the boy didn't like me back, and I was chasing him around trying to fix him and decided to be on drugs because he was. So that's a little depressing, you know, and pathetic. But it's like poor little 19-year-old Marissa didn't know any better. So she took a drug charge for the boy and went to jail. It's like, really? Okay, poor little Marissa. But at the same time, I learned a lot, and I wouldn't be doing Chinese astrology today if I hadn't have happened, because that's where I learned how to do it. So, but anyway, so the key here is that you are not definable. You are not a 0. You're not a 1. I'm not A. Someone's not B. I'm not soul number this and soul number that. The guides are always talking about all that stuff. I'm staying present. I'm me right now. I'm not the guides. So they go off kind of in tangents, and they all make sense and they're very interesting. But I just want to really I want to start to change the world. I want the world to change, and it starts with us, guys. It starts with us actually, you know, being aware of who the heck we are at any given time. I mean, it's like half of us were in like the 1800s, you know, it's like, what were we doing in the 1800s? Clearly, we're not going to have very much control over our thoughts, emotions, and feelings if, you know, we're thinking as some ghost that, you know, lived in the 1800s, because we don't know what their emotions are. And emotions are what make us fourth dimensional beings. So the first dimension would be mind, and then we've got the body, and then we've got the spirit. Okay, so spirit is eternal. It's everything. We are spirit. So basically the piece of us that moves around everywhere is spirit. That's spirit. That's the biggest piece of us. That's everything, the all, that's spirit. Okay. Jesus came down basically to a 2D world that was mind and body and said, here's spirit. Check it out. I'm going to give you the spirit of truth and leave you with the Holy Spirit, and, you know, whatever they call it in other religions, totally respect that. Not saying Christianity is the way, just saying that that's all I know. So in my verbiage, that's kind of what it is. So he said, hey, check it out. There's this thing in the second chakra called the Holy Spirit. You know, you should tune into it. It's the top of the second chakra. And when you're stuck in your emotions and your feelings and all this horrible rage that comes with being man or woman, where it's just instinct, fight or flight, you know, tune into that spirit. So that's 3D. Okay. 4D was 2012. We started to pull from the astral. Okay. So prior to 2012, there's people that could tune into the astral through meditation. They could leave their body and go to the astral, right? So that's what happened in my accident. I left the confines of my spirit, living in a physical mind, body, spirit reality, where I have like ego, my intellect, my you know, my feelings and all that stuff. But the astral is what brought in the whole, like, everyone's an empath. And it also brought in a bunch of people that thought they were mediums, but really all they were tuning into was like emotional garbage over on the other side. Fairies, gnomes, angels, devas, guides, they're all in this fourth dimension. Okay. But they're not real. They're all based on emotions. I mean, they're real. I mean, what's real? You can't really tell what's real, because I mean, if you dream and you cry because something happens in it, is that real? It's real in the moment because you're feeling it. So feelings, the emotions are what make us real. Okay. So our real self is at the very top of the fourth dimension. And that real self is kind of the one that's like where I always see Brian kind of like looking down into the earth, because the earth is a creation of the fifth dimension. So the fourth dimension, you're going to go up and down the 12-story building, depending on where you are in the 12-story building's right here in the spirit, going up and down, up and down, up and down. And wherever you basically are, like conscious, at your conscious level, you're going to open up to meditate. You're going to be right there in the astral plane. So you may see some you may see some fairy that's like, ooh, I'm Archangel Michael. Look at my horse and my sword and my this and my that. And it's like, oh, I guess it's Archangel Michael. You know, it's like, no, it's a stupid fairy. I have an issue with fairies. Sorry if anyone likes them. But they're the spirits that mess with you. They're the ones that turn off the freaking lights and hide your keys and do all that stuff to make you emotionally drop. Because when you emotionally drop, guess where all of the light of your spirit, your star, your diamond, whatever you want to call it, that bright light that you are, that came to live in all of this, is going to be dropped down. So all of those bottom feeding spirits and energies and entities and people are going to be able to draw from your energy. And that's what they want. And that's what's happening right now. So it's like right now, the media knows how the fourth dimensional body works, knows that we are susceptible to how we feel. Okay. So if we're in fear, we're like this, upside down. Okay. So we're hanging like bats. So all the beings that got banished because they don't have a connection to source, just imagine like source is coming in. Oh, it's interesting. It's kind of coming in right here, but all the light energy that we are, say we're the hand, the light's coming in. Oh, interesting. It's coming in from back here. So all light's coming in here, feeding this right here. And then if we flip over upside down, there's no light there. Okay, so that's where Earth was because of, you know, Adam and Eve, they fell down to the underworld. So as it rose up through the fourth dimension, up through this reality from 2012 until 2019, everyone was like, I'm an empath, I'm a this. And all of us pretty much probably discovered spirituality around then because we were like, whoa, I've got this whole other world around me that I never even knew existed. But it's because your brain was 3D, it wasn't 4D. Okay, so 2012 was the beginning of the new world and the end of the world as we knew it before, which brought in that fourth dimension. Now, January 19th of this year, of 2020, we got this. We got the fifth dimension. Okay, we were there for 6 days, and then we went like this. I don't want to create anything I want. I don't want to be everything I want. I don't want to be God. I'll just go back over here. So now we're over here, back over the first dimension, mind. We're not even in our bodies. We're just like these egos, you know, in fear, just like, and if we are spiritual and we're aware of it, guys, we can be over here up at the top, you know, of our fourth dimensional body, and we can call upon our higher self, you know, our Christ body, our Christ self, and be like, hey, I'm now that, and we can stay in it. But then somebody writes something stupid on our Facebook page and we're like, that bastard, and it's like over here. Or what's even worse, screw them, I hope they freaking crash. You know, it's like we're cursing them then. So it's like you can't win when you're in a reality where there's duality and you're teaching a bunch of people how to get into such a high dimension of self, because you then have the power of every past life here, all your past lives. That's why I was telling a girl today, she had a session, she goes, what's my draw towards this guy? And I said, well, it looks like he died and then you died and you guys were never married, but you were in love and da-da-da. And when you started opening up to spirituality, you opened up to your fourth dimensional body, and the fourth dimensional stream of consciousness coming in, your astral body, which is a record of everything. The Akashic records is there. Everything's there. Astral, the ascended masters, like everything's there. It's the fake world that we create, and it's based on emotions. So I said, you know, as soon as you kind of opened up to that, that's when you would see the same guy that never triggered you before to like, why do I keep noticing him? And she's like, am I in love with him? And it's like, no, you're not in love with him. Actually, you wouldn't be able to stand him if you were with him. It's just this draw to him because you guys had something in another lifetime. The key here tonight is getting you guys into like not your Christ self. The Christ self is right here. The fully evolved self, fully tuned into spirit with your mind, body, and spirit. That would be like Christ. Okay. This over here is the astral. It's the what's that called? Not divergent. Why did I say divergent? What's a divergent? It diverts you from the truth. And the truth you would think is over here. It's not. It's right here. Right in the palm of your hand where the light is. So right here in the palm of your hand, you have truth and you have the light and you have the ability to heal anything and do anything and be anything. But we think we're this. We think we're just this and that's it. What goes in your right toe, Brittany? Interesting, Tracy. So you guys can actually feel, just say, where is my light? Like, where's the light in me? And ask which hand it is in. You may feel it like, say, in your leg, but that just means that your hand is in your leg. Like, because we have a lot of different layers. So your light doesn't drop, you drop in your light. Or you leave your light and you're a little piece of light and you drop in your complex of like your reality in your consciousness. Left hand, interesting. Okay, mine was let me see. I think mine's in my left. Mine's usually in my right. And make sure I'm in my body. So get to know where your light is in you, because if it's not where it's supposed to be, then you're not you. if that makes sense. And if you're not you, it doesn't mean you're draining somebody. It doesn't mean that you're like spying on them. It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that the piece of you that is eternal, that's everything, that's everywhere, is choosing to focus on that right now. Okay. We have a lot of people that go like, oh, so-and-so is in my energy and blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, you're in theirs too. You know, it's everybody's in everybody's energy. It's just, where are we choosing to focus? You know, so if somebody's obsessing about someone, yeah, you're going to end up in their field and experiencing some stuff that they're experiencing. Same with people that you're fighting with on Facebook. Okay. Who's done this? You see a stupid post and you're like, man, that person is so self-righteous. And so, no, you don't even say that. You're just like, that's not even right. It doesn't even matter what they post. It's the energy that you're feeling, because what they're doing is they're vacuuming you into their field. Because people that post things that are very like angry, it's like quicksand. You just go whoosh. Interesting, Glenn. You flashed. I did the same thing, Glenn. I flashed on my right and then I felt it in my left. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And then I noticed that I had like light here and that my hand up against another hand of mine. And that's my right hand, like through like a mirror or whatever. And then my left hand is over there and my right hand is up against that. So it's almost like it's going like in a circle. You saw that too, Aaron? So why don't you ask this? Where is the resting space for the light that I am? Whoa, mine's like right in front of my face. Oh yeah, that's interesting. It's right in front of my face and I see a big hand sitting on top of it. That's very interesting. Anyway, so this is stuff, I mean, the reason why I'm sharing this stuff with you guys is to have you become creative. Like, get creative. It's like, you don't need to go back through all the exercises that we've ever done in class and be like, which one should I do in order to tune into this? It's like, no, I teach you guys intuitive Reiki. I teach you guys quantum healing, because you guys get to make your own stuff up. You know, it's like, okay, as long as I know that I'm this eternal being that can go anywhere and do anything, I can basically be anywhere and do anything at any time. And if I'm not clairvoyant and I can't see, I can say, okay, I'm now the me that is clairvoyant, that won't see scary stuff, that will see really awesome stuff. I'm that me now. Take me there. Show me what it feels like. So it's like have this dialogue with yourself. I want you guys to do this right now. I want you to have a dialogue with yourself, and I'm going to give you like 5 minutes. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I need to plug my nose or the guides are coming in, so my nose is getting stuffed up, so I need to blow my nose. But the guides are saying, don't forget to tell them about the spin. And I'm like, what's the spin? Oh, they'll channel about it. Anyways, so they're basically saying that spinning particle. Don't we have lots of particles? God particle. Okay, ask where the God particle is within you and where it is in relation to the light. Just ask that. That's what Rachel is saying. Oh my God, I used to call my higher self Rachel. That's so funny. She's really creepy looking. Hold on, let me get rid of that thing. I'm down in the 4th dimension. I'm seeing all the like goblins and ghouls and stuff like that. Oh, you do, Scott? That's interesting. Interesting, Glenn. It's still in your hand, Donna, but your hand is like in your stomach. So like right now I have you guys pulled into your God self. I call it the complex. So like you are God, like, and so like maybe like your spirit's in your knee, your emotional body's in your thigh. Your God self is, you know, like wherever. But if you were to outline where all of them are, you'd see like the person inside of you. So like the person inside of you, the hand is probably yeah, I see it. It's in your right hand. Your right hand is reached up and it's in your stomach. Actually reached down. Your feet are above your head and you're reached down and your hand is like that and it's down in your stomach. And there's no right, there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad. Doesn't matter if you're upside down or right side up. The key is, guys, there's no such thing as evil, okay? There's no such thing as bad, and there's no such thing as good. It just is. It's how you experience it. So if you know, okay, I'm starting to get irritated right now. Is it because my husband's evil? No. Is it because my kids are freaking annoying as hell? Yeah. But are they doing it to be bad? No, they're having a really good time. So if I could appreciate them having a good time, then maybe I wouldn't want to like flip out right now. You know, I wouldn't get irritated. But if I don't do that, if I don't realize, okay, and try and look at the intention behind why people do what they do, it's like, I'm going to get irritated. Jeff's going to walk in the door. I'm going to be like, "Nyeh," like that, like snap his head off. He's going to like start stupid boyfriend voice, stupid girlfriend voice, like, "Nyeh," and then we're going to fight all night. The kids are going to go to sleep. We're not going to have date night. And we're just going to go to sleep in separate rooms. Like that's happened so many times because I get so irritated. But we take our irritation of one thing and we put it on other people. Like Mimi said, she hasn't talked to her son. I hope, Mimi, you're getting the add on because I really want to heal that. It's like all of the issues that we have with people have built up to the point where, like, if somebody bullied us or we felt bullied or we bullied them, everybody is replacing, like, the police with George Floyd are now that person that bullied us in second grade. And the Mimi, I feel awful for you about that. That's awful. If you want to write me some details, let me know like a little bit more about it. I can make sure to release more beliefs than just kind of clearing it. But you know, just like when people don't talk to you, if you just send them pure consciousness, pure light, like just pure light from your awareness and your consciousness, like it's going to shine light on them and they're going to feel bad for being such asses. That's what I always do. Like with cops, I'm like, okay, show me the situation right now. All right, sending it tons of light, release all the people that have called them pigs, release all the people that have like pissed them off, release all the people that have like, you know, upset them just while that I'm like, you know, talking with them, because we've joined fields. When you're talking with anybody, you join fields with them. So you can manipulate that field as much as you want by sending light to it and healing it. The second I drive away and I disconnect from him, he's going to be like, that guy called me a pig like an hour ago. Damn, I should have given that girl a ticket, but I guess I didn't. That's how you get your son to start talking to you. Yeah. And the thing is if you're are you holding strong to certain beliefs or ideas that you're making more important than him, or is he the one that's making his beliefs and ideas more important than you? Feels like there's a trauma from like 16 years ago between the two of you. And that's why I'm wondering what I can do to heal that. You need to ask to cut your cords though too, because just like he has cords, you're gonna have cords. And you know, it's not just about this, it's about something else too. So this type of thing just makes it a lot easier to deflect on, oh well, it's because Bubba, you're a Republican and I'm a Democrat, or you know, whatever. Oh, it's him. So anyways, it's like but it's always a two-way thing in a sense, you know, and whether it was like it was us then and now it's them, but there's always something, because that's just the way energy works. It's like the push me, pull me, the gravity, or the, you know, or the force going out. So it's like breath, you know. So it's like in his mind something, you know, in your mind something. So the key is releasing that and just making it neutral so that he can then see you without the perspective of like, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know the situation that's going on. I don't even know what's going on. So it's like, even when we're so wrong, or even when someone's so wrong, it doesn't make us right. And so it's like, we just need to, basically what the guys are saying is we just need to realize and understand that sharing your opinion about things that matter to you is the dumbest thing in the world to do, because people aren't going to agree with you and you're going to take it very personally. I'm not talking about you, Mimi anymore. I'm just talking in general. We're going to take it very personally because of the fact that
sharing your opinion
attached to our 16-year-old that got raped and had to get an abortion, or, you know, whatever. So now they are disrespecting the fact that you had to get an abortion because you were raped brutally or something like that, all because somebody is, you know, pro-life. And you're like, they hate me. They wanted me to get raped and they wanted me to have a child that was like not made out of love, or, you know, whatever it is that we are. But that's the way that we start to look at things. So that's what I want you guys to write down, is like, your offended self. Like, think of the last few times you got in arguments, and this does not have to be social media, guys. This can be your interpersonal relationships. I just use social media because it's such a big thing right now, but this can just be your regular old relationships. You know, do you have mommy issues, daddy issues, that, you know, you think that the person's this way or that way? It's likely not even the case. So it's like, I mean, haven't you ever had people be like, oh, your mom is so cool, your dad's so cool, I can't even believe that you think that? It's like, well, no, they're not. Like, you know, and then like 10 years go by and you're like, oh, actually, you know, my dad is kind of a cool guy. Like, he's very chill. You know, I just saw him in a different way, because to me, love was criticism. So if he wasn't criticizing me, I would make him criticize me in my mind, you know, and then you build up this animosity. Oh, my dad doesn't love me, and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, we have to realize that we've created all of our own realities, and we've made we've trained people to be who they are, and we've trained ourselves to be who we are in their lives. And when we start to break that mold, and when we start to go into the fifth dimension where we are our soul, that's our soul, and that soul is eternal, and it's this bright beaming light, people get offended. They're like, why aren't you a victim anymore? What the hell's wrong with you? Like, you're supposed to play the whole like, oh, come take care of me, or oh, you know, let's see, family WhatsApp groups. Oh God, family WhatsApp groups. Yeah, just tell her that unless it has to do with her, Shireen, just say, you know, I love you, Mom, and I know that you passed the time. I know you're bored and you passed the time with, you know, drama. It's kind of like a reality show, but I just really, it really drains me. And I love you, and I want to hear all about you, but I don't want to hear about you through the eyes of all the WhatsApp groups and the social media. Oh no, you're going through it with your sister, Janice? Again? Did you guys make up and then break up again? Okay, I'm going to let the guides in. I got my 2 cents in. Did you guys learn anything from that? Hopefully. Or not even learn. I wasn't teaching you guys. You guys already knew all this stuff. It's just, I wanted you guys to kind of take like a different perspective and look at like, you know, what it is that, okay, good. Because sometimes it just takes somebody to say the obvious, you know, like today when I was like, dude, you guys, common sense, don't bring up politics and religion. Duh. You know, like, you're gonna get fired from work if you go and tell everybody that you're the opposite, you know, political party as everybody at your work. You know, it's like, that's just how people are. And we can want everyone to see and everybody to understand, but the fact is that nobody will ever see the way you see because they're not you. They don't have the same molecules and chemicals. They don't have the same DNA. They don't have the same perspective. They don't have the same spirit. They don't have any of the same stuff. So we have to just, you know, be okay with that, and also be okay with the fact that we won't see as them, they won't see as us. And that's awesome, because if we were seeing the same thing, we'd be pointless, because we're all the same being. We're all this being. Okay, so we got these 5 hands over here. We're all this being, basically diving, this is the spirit of truth, diving down into this reality and making its way through, like ascending through all the different realities with whatever mind we're at. So the earth was here. Then Jesus came, earth became this. Then earth became this in 2012. And then earth became this in January 19th of 2020. So March, whatever, when we did that ascension class with Luke or whatever, that was more like the earth is this, but we're like, everyone's like this, you know, so this is the earth, we live on it. So we have the capacity to take in this much, but really we're only taking in this much because we're all stuck in our egos and fear. So Luke was like, rise up, you know, like expand out. It's not about rising up. It's not about going up or down. It's about expanding and allowing the light that's here, that's available for us, to go throughout our entire, it's assuming we're a hand, you know, like going through the entire us. Oh my God, I just thought of the turkeys, you know, when you're a kid and you drive a little turkey, the hand, that's funny. This was the head and this is the tail. But anyway, so, okay, let me go inside. It's starting to get cold. Look at the beautiful ocean one more time. Let's see, there we go. So pretty. I miss this house, but not enough to move back into it. I like my big house. After 4 years of spending so much money on an office that was not even satisfying, I'm cool with spending that much money on a house. I'm a Cancer and I like to be at home. Like my green hair? Okay, I'm going to turn this camera off and I'm going to go plug in. You guys write because what we're going to do right now is we're going to do the meditation. We're going to heal the ages that we are that become irritated. Look up like, write down the last 5 times you got in like super gnarly, like they stuck to you type of arguments with someone, whether it's like Jeff, one of mine's going to be like Jeff. He's always trying to passively say to me that I don't know what I'm doing and I'm too scattered everywhere. And, you know, he thinks it's because I take too much medication, but little does he know, I'm like barely on any medication. Like if he would have known me when I was on medication, well, he did. I mean, I was having seizures and crashing cars and all that stuff. So I'm good now. But he's always trying to infer that that's the reason why. And it drives me nuts. So that's when we always get in our fights, and he says hurtful things and those stick to me. And then I don't know that I don't call him, he doesn't call me things. He just, you know, say things like, oh, well, I don't even know I'm married to you. It's like, oh, dude, that's bad. So I watch his
conscious level will go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then, but it's usually my fault because usually I'm totally stressing. I know he's a fixer. I'm stressing out going, hey, I don't know what to do. So he can't fix it. So he feels guilty and then he feels bad. And then he starts like lashing out at me or whatever. So anyways, yeah, right? Like with your spouse, like those those are the most hurtful things because people say what they mean when they're not filtering themselves. They get mad. And those stick to us. Or maybe sister, Janice, you're dealing with your sister. And then we're going to go through, I'm going to teach you guys how to clear it. And then I'm going to teach you how to clear the posts that are stuck to you. And then that's it. But it's going to be a good meditation.